Are we live? Hello, guys, and welcome down to this Sunday night special with Joe from Theme Park Insanity. How you doing, man?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks. You?
I'm all right. The reason why we wanted to do this, if you guys don't know, this time last year we started off to Keep You in the Loop podcast on the YouTube channel. We started it across mine and Joe's channel, Theme Park Insanity. Joe has been sticking to Facebook and his amazing website. From then, it was a bit difficult keeping up with all 5 different platforms with one person.
Yeah, just a little bit. It was a little bit, a little bit full on, to be honest. Yeah. So Facebook and website. Yeah.
Yeah. Is everything working in the stream? I'm getting annoying.
I think. I mean, we're actually live, so that's good for a start.
Okay, that's cool. So we just thought we'd do a little bit of a podcast between us. Not really a podcast, just a video, really, just a chat with you guys in the chat. If you want to leave us some questions, feel free, go ahead, and we'll get to them. If you're not subscribed, consider subscribing and follow us on our socials. Now, one of the major things that we want to talk about today is our Keep You in the Loop group on Facebook. We are 40 odd off 1,000 members now.
41. So 41 people to go.
Off 1,000 members, and this group we enable you guys to share content across the theme park. Inside the theme park industry stuff. Your videos, all that kind of good stuff, and your websites and your blogs and vlogs and your Instagrams and everything like that. We enable it all to happen. In that group, it's really friendly. We have an amazing group of moderators as well that are on the page every day, and it's great. We really want to hit 1,000 because this group came along due to unforeseen circumstances with another group. Literally left people out in the dark, and we were just like, nah, that's not happening. So we were just like, right, we need a place for everybody just to be, happy, enthusiastic, and somewhere for everybody who loves theme parks. So if you do like theme parks, you're on Facebook, check out Keep You in the Loop group. The link is in the video description below, and one of our moderators will accept you into the group, and we're almost at 1,000. So if we can do that before the end of this stream, that would be epic. But I doubt it. But we can try. We can try. We can try. So hello to everybody who's in the chat. If you are in the chat, make sure you say hello.
Indeed. Very good evening to everybody that's watching. Thank you very much for joining us. A bit of a different one, this one. Hopefully it's going to give you guys a bit of insight to how this all started as well. Because we're going to take everything right back to the beginning with this. Yep, way back to the start. So
I'll go first. So it was like some Mawams. I'm feeling good. Nice. Mawams are nice, man. We've got we got some beer, and we got a bit of an Oktoberfest going on.
Fort Park. No, so Alton Towerstein. I don't say Fort Park, can I?
Anyway, so hey guys, love the Facebook concept. We certainly look into this. Yeah, do it, man. Even everyone, hello. Yeah, so everybody in the chat, if you've got questions, like I said, just let us know. Smash like on this video as well. Share it around with all your friends. Indeed. And let's just have a nice little chat between us. So basically, I was running CoasterGen on Facebook for almost 5 years. I've not seen anybody really other than the average people I won't say average people, the amazing people who were doing daily uploads to Facebook. And I'd started my YouTube channel just doing no limits videos and just random things because of Wolf Raging 95. If you guys don't know who Wolf Raging 95 is, make sure you subscribe to his channel. Because without Wolf, there wouldn't be the CoasterGen today. That there is. Thank you. Thanks, babe. Danielle saying happy anniversary. Yep.
Cheers, Danielle. Thank you.
It's crazy. We were doing this a year ago to like 3 people.
And quite literally like 1 year gone in the blink of an eye as well.
Anyway, let's get on with the story because it's quite a long one.
It is.
And I was just like on Facebook one day and I just noticed Theme Park Insanity just popping up left, right, and centre. With all the Flamingo Land new coaster news. That was what you was primarily known for back in the day, right?
That's correct, yeah. That was like our bread and butter, effectively. That's kind of how we started out. And it will kind of go back to that in time as well. There's literally nothing happening at the moment. So when it kind of died off, we had to sort of think of other ways to kind of sort of keep you guys entertained as well. But that's effectively, we started it out kind of covering that and sort of bringing weekly updates and working with Raymond over at Flamingo Land Crazy, sort of getting the photographs, giving you the insight. And then it sort of moved forward, and then we started with this conversation, didn't we? Sort of back in October, November time, I think.
Yeah, it was. And we never even met, and we were just talking online, and we were just like, yo, like, your Facebook page is awesome. We should do something together. And we were like, I fancy doing a podcast about theme parks. Do you fancy trying something? And we tried it, and it was like nothing what it is today. Like,
no, it was completely different.
Just basically reading off our Facebook homepages, like what the news was for that week. And now it's like we've got guests and all sorts on now. It's crazy. But what I find really cool is that the friendship that we have now is like it's just awesome. Like
it really is.
You know, we've been on so many trips together. I've been on many coasters with you for the first time as well, which is really cool. Down at Thorpe, that was awesome. It was a shame that some of them weren't open, but we managed to do all the big ones down there. Like,
we did. We got in all the main ones, and that's basically to me.
Your reaction on stealth,
like sitting there, like gripping the seat, like what the hell have I done to myself? And
that was awesome. It was really cool. It was a great trip. We'll get into the trips after, but yeah, then we did Blackpool, and we met everyone at Velvet Coaster on the first night, which was absolutely awesome. Big shout out to Chris from Screw Loops for hanging out with us for quite a while there. Didn't even know who we were. Anyway, you spoke to him briefly.
Obviously, I kind of sort of, talked to him a little bit, and I've kind of sort of worked on him with kind of a few ideas, which obviously later became, the interview we had and everything else. But it sort of all started like that, and it was nice. And for me, being such a huge fan of Chris as well, Backseat Blackout days, and several other people, all the people that were there at that particular time, it was like walking into like this other world. It was mad, very crazy. Surreal. Yeah.
You walk up them steps in Velvet Coaster and you see like,
and just everybody's just there.
Got Jack Silkstone over there. You've got like, you've got Scott from Pleasure Beach Experience sat down. And it was just there, and then Chris was just there, and he was just like, all right, and then we're just talking. It was surreal. It's really cool.
I'll wait for next year, to be honest. Actually, I really hope we get.
I really hope
get something like that
had last year. Something close to it would be sweet. Like I don't expect it to be the same, but something close would be sweet.
So something sort of similar at least, even if it's not as compact. But
yeah, but we did that, and then we had our first guest on the Keep You in the Loop podcast, which was actually Mikhail.
It was,
who is now regular host on the podcast, which is awesome. And I was so impressed with like all his information and his background in what he did in America as well. And the amount of freaking coasters he's ridden, like every week, it's like even when we had people on, it was just like I'm gonna go. I'll leave you guys.
Starts going to kind of like goes into like really deep depth about this stuff, and you just kind of sat there thinking, yeah, I love it, but I can't relate to it like you can because I've never been there. So
yeah, it's like when I'll never forget when we did the lightning rod video, our top coasters video, and it was just like it. I was like, yeah, the swarm's great, and he was like, lightning rod. I was like, okay. It was crazy, but we've all had a bad year. Let's not sugarcoat it. We've all had a bad year.
We have.
But I like to think that hopefully every Thursday night on the channel we've cheered a few people up, we've made you laugh, we've made you smile, and you've enjoyed it. And that's basically what we set out to do, was just to get everybody involved and create this community that I think we have. Like I really
feel like we have, yeah. I mean, obviously the main thing is obviously bringing everybody together, and I really feel like you say, like that has happened. We've got a fantastic community, and it's kind of nice to be part of that community. But it's also, the same reason as we have the group, it's keeping that community spirit in everything that we do as well.
Yeah.
And I really feel like the podcast has done that quite well. So
yeah, let us know in the chat if you've enjoyed it, and who's been your favorite guest as well. Because we've had some crazy people. Like
that's some big names on, to be honest.
I know,
actually.
like when we had Chris on the first time, that was just like I couldn't believe it. There's so many things. There's so many things that have happened this year where it's just been, you look back on it and you think, what? Like it's balmy. It really is. It's balmy. Like, and then it's just been crazy. Anyway, let's talk about our trip to. Should we talk about Flamingo Land, or do you want to add anything to what we've just spoke about?
I think, to be honest, I mean, obviously, like Blackpool for us was our big first major trip, wasn't it? And kind of first time that we'd actually ever. That was our first vlog.
Yeah,
it was. So it's my first ever appearance on YouTube in a vlog, which in itself was extremely nerve-wracking, to be fair.
Yeah.
But I feel like I handled it quite well. I probably looked a little uncomfortable at times, but I've kind of got used to being behind the camera now.
We had a few practices at yours, didn't we? Like
we did, yeah.
The camera and stuff. We were just like, "Hello guys, and welcome to Blackpool." Like just practicing, just trying to make it feel comfortable, and then
like playing around.
And when we were there, it was just so natural. It really was so natural. The first day is awesome. You guys have adapted the situation so well. Those enthusiasts, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, man. That means the world.
Don't get me wrong. This podcast is not about tooting our own horn or anything like that. It's just literally we're just telling you guys what happened from having. When we went to Blackpool, how many subscribers did I have? It was like 200, 150 or something like that. Yeah,
something around about that mark, I think. Yeah. And then it just basically. It's just grown and grown. It's gone from strength to strength all year, which is amazing to see. It really is. And you look at where you are now, and
it's not that. It's like the whole where we all are. It's like Sean blew up, like and you've blown up. Like it's big crazy. Time. It really is crazy, and we've been involved with so many people, and everyone who's been involved. Just thank you so much. Like seriously,
absolutely.
Every tweet, every message, every invite to podcasts. So, CoasterGen, I see you in the chat. Thank you for that first initial podcast we did. That was awesome.
Yeah, sorry about that yesterday, mate. Really rough time, but guaranteed that I want to get on with you guys as soon as possible. So I'll PM you about that afterwards.
Yeah, definitely. And it's like, and congrats on getting nominated as well for Best
Absolutely.
Podcast. I watched your behind the scenes video today, and I was like,
so did I,
dude. Why? Why?
Like it's full on like professional setup,
you
and then
just start a radio show. Like you should just do a radio, like CoasterGen Radio or something. Like seriously, you're set, you're ready to go. Like
CoasterGen FM,
like it's ready to go.
That setup's insane. It really is.
It is crazy. And then like we had to adapt and just make Planet Coaster videos as well and stuff like that, which was really cool. And the No Limits is No Limits. It'll always exist on my channel because that's what it started with.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like congrats to everyone who got nominated for the Clamshell Awards. And Archie,
dude, that is that's something else.
Sean, you've got a battle on your hands there, man.
Yeah, you have, man. Big time.
But yeah, it's all good fun, and that's what I like about it. It's just all good fun. There are some people in the community that shall not be named that just. I don't know. It's sad. But it's like we just try and focus on the positive and move forward and just keep doing what we're doing, really, and that's it. But when we went to Blackpool and we first got an icon after talking about it for so long, like one of the things we said in the vlog at the start of the vlog was, it's gone really quick this off season. And I was like, yeah, it's because we've been so busy. Like
we've been pumping out content left, right, and centre. And to be honest, I've not even found out to like let up all year. In fact, if anything, it's just got even more so, hasn't it? Like constant all the time. But it's amazing. And the response that we've had from you guys as well, on both obviously CoasterGen and on TPI as well. Thank you so much for the amazing feedback you've given us, because that helps, not only to drive us forward, but it also helps us to kind of keep improving as well. So thank you so much, guys. You're all amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, so we did the Blackpool trip. That was pretty cool. We had to leave because of circumstances during the day. We won't go into that. There's no need to go into that. But then our next trip after that, was that Flamingo Land or was it Towers? Towers.
It was, yeah. Towers opening day.
And you was made famous on the Channel 4 documentary.
Well, look, grumpy looking cameos. I mean, I swear, guys, I was happy on that day. I was in a really good mood, but as ever, TV grabs you at the most inconvenient times, and it just, Yeah, it just makes you look like the most miserable person ever. I'm really not, honestly.
Just caught you at the entrance while you were waiting for your tickets. Like, I don't think anyone would smile in that situation outside Towers. Like, if you're waiting for a ticket in the queue, it's horrible.
And also, when my little boy trying to climb over every fence and train and everything else and run after the camera people, and I'm just like, no, you really need to stay here. But a 4.5-year-old just will not listen. So,
bless him. And then we met Aaron. Aaron was stood outside Wicker Man, and we were like, "Come on, Aaron!" Me and James stole Aaron off you. We didn't know.
You took off with him.
We didn't know. Right? Seriously, we did not expect the Wicker Man to break down 5 times while we was in the queue.
I know.
It was really bad. Like, we saw you when we had got through the extended queue line, got into the normal queue line, so it was like, oh, it's only going to be an hour now. We're moving pretty quick. Then we got to the first set of steps after as you go around the turnaround, and it broke down like
again,
and again, and again, and again, and then we finally got off it. It was different announcement each time. It was hilarious, Aaron.
We have C-Star ritual.
Wicker Man has experienced a delay.
You're not going to get burned, Teddy.
It was so funny, like to. And then he came off. He was like, "We're going to go Nemesis," and then we finally caught up with you again at Nemesis. And
you did, yeah.
Got a good ride on that, and yeah, so that was cool. That was mainly. That was like Theme Park Insanity trip and the CoasterGen trip combined, where it was like we just kind of found each other in the park basically,
merged into one.
Yeah, and that was cool. It was a long vlog because we had so much to cover, and I mean the amount of things we spoke about on the podcast previous, like how they're going to do this, how they're going to do that, with all the social distancing and all that stuff. It was so different.
And then actually finally seeing it all in the flesh.
And we had to cover all that, which was tough. It was tough covering all that, but I think
there was a lot to kind of cover and a lot to sort of show as well, and it was sort of making sure you hit every mark, wasn't it? I think that just shows the volume of work that kind of goes into doing all of this. You want to kind of cover as much as you can, and you're forever thinking on your feet, trying to think, well, what can I do next, and what can I do next?
And the problem is that all the news we were reporting throughout the early days of the podcast was all the new social distancing measures at Fort Park, the new social distancing measures at Flamingo Land, the new social distancing measures at Blackpool. It was one of them where it was, that's all we were talking about. And then we finally get to the theme parks. It was like, it was surreal to say the least when we finally got into a theme park. It was crazy. But our first proper trip was Flamingo Land, right? This year?
Yep, certainly was. Yeah, I can't remember what. Was that August time? I think early August.
All I remember is that it was chucking it down.
It was, and yeah, you had a pretty painful leg, I remember, as well, didn't you?
Yeah, I nearly died. Let's not sugarcoat
it. Yeah, to be fair, those bites looked horrific. They really did.
Yeah, I played cricket the night before I set off to yours, and I was wearing shorts on a field. And yeah, it wasn't a good idea. But I didn't know about it until halfway through the day when we'd just come off Hero. I thought Hero had done it. I thought Hero had bruised my leg.
I would not put it past it. I really wouldn't. That thing's a death trap, but no, probably not that bad.
Yeah. And I came off, I was like, oh wow, I've got a bit of going on. And I couldn't, and then the day after, wow, man, I'm so glad like Danielle pushed me to go to the hospital and get it sorted out. Which it did, but that was insane. That was so insane.
Pretty
and then
bad.
we got to sit down with Virtual Towers Online as well.
We did, yeah. That was
a podcast.
That was really cool.
Oh, that was cool. That was the start of something to come, wasn't it?
It certainly was, yeah, considering where you are now. It's like the start of a whole brand new episode of your life, which is amazing.
It's balmy, honestly. Hero's #1 coaster guys. Are you both going opening day? Yes.
Yep,
yeah,
we are.
Yeah. If we're allowed.
Indeed.
If we're allowed to leave our tier.
Well,
just saying.
Exactly.
Moving on. So we went to Flamingo Land, and that was really awesome to see the brand new coaster in the flesh. That was.
It was also your first time at the park as well, wasn't it? Because you'd not actually been prior to that, so
yeah. So it was like it was difficult because we went from Towers to Flamingo Land. I'm not knocking Flamingo Land, but
no, it's a whole different level. in very different ways. I think, to be honest, that's probably the best way to put it.
In its own way, like it's their, like we've said it before on the podcast. It's their land. It's their, it's their park, so they're going to do what they want to do with how they get away with stuff, things like that. But the fact that I didn't have to wear a mask on the rides was really strange. I've heard that Adventure Island actually are doing that now. I saw it on Twitter.
So not actually having to wear masks on the ride?
No, like it's not compulsory. There's certain things going on in different parks. People are just dealing with it differently, of course. And we went from towers to literally you have to wear one on everything. Like, and you've got all these social distancing markers and stuff like that. And it was just so different, and it kind of took away from my experience of being there. I probably shouldn't have gone. To be fair, I probably shouldn't have gone to Flamingo Land during a pandemic. Probably wasn't the best idea. But what I did enjoy was I enjoyed what the park would be on a normal day. I could see what it would be like. It would be a nice environment, nice vibe. Yeah, lots of excitement going on.
I mean, it's a completely different atmosphere when we're not stuck with all these measures and all these restrictions. It has a really sort of kind of family friendly feel, very upbeat, positive place to be, all that sort of thing. And obviously, pandemic, it took away from a lot of things, but obviously, it took away from all of that as well. And regardless, obviously, the mask situation, I mean, we still wore the masks anyway, didn't we? Because, we did, just for safety. But, it was one of those, if you take all of that out of the equation, it is literally at a completely different place.
Yeah. And Kumali was like, I was so impressed.
Move SLC.
Yeah. I was saying to you all day, like, no, not going to happen. No way, not going to happen. I was like, okay. Got on the break when I was like, okay.
Right.
This is...
Boof, that proved you wrong.
Yeah. And then, so was that before or after you launched your website?
So that was, that's a good question, actually. I think it was
before?
I think it was before.
No, it was after. Because I took images for you for that trip.
You did? Yep. So it was just after the website was launched. I think it was launched in, you know what, I can't actually remember. Was it about March, April time, roundabouts?
I think it was, yeah.
Round about that point, yeah. And again, that's something that's doing incredibly well now as well. And we're literally uploading brand new sort of articles and content every single day near enough now. So it's completely just, it's gone from one strength to another.
Just tell the people what interviews you have on your website right now, because
so at the moment, interviews wise, we've got about sort of between 8 and 10, but we've got people, interviews from the likes of Imascore, we've got interviews from the likes of Aroma Prime, we've got Roller Coaster Rachel on there, of course we've got you guys on there, we've got Screw Loops, Digital Dan. There is a lot of big names on there, and I feel really privileged and honoured to have been given those opportunities. Yeah, man. We also have another fairly big one coming in January as well, which I'm kind of working on at the moment. So I look forward to being able to bring that to you. But if you haven't checked those interviews out, guys, please do so, because some of them are very insightful, and they do give you a lot of kind of sort of information about who those individuals or other companies, kind of are and what they do, which you might.
The Imascore one blew me away. How much they actually let you in?
It's incredible.
I was like, wow, okay, that's cool. Like,
I know, absolutely.
How it all started and stuff like that. So if you guys are interested in that, go and check out the interviews. The links are in the video description.
And they're such a pleasure to deal with as well. Really nice guys. So a huge thanks to Imascore for that one. Amazing opportunity, which I never in a million years dreamed I'd actually get. So still to this day, I feel very privileged.
Yeah, and it's great to see other YouTubers supporting each other. Yeah, I mean, if it wouldn't have been for Sean from channel called
Backspill.
Yeah, but Sean from I've forgotten.
Lift Hills and Frills?
Yes, Lift Hills and Frills. Yeah. It's always on the end of my tongue that, but I can never when I need to. Yeah. Shout out to Sean from Lift Hills and Frills, because if it would have been for him, we wouldn't have known Sean from Parkspill, because he was like, you need to check Sean's stuff out. Like, you can definitely tell he's in the production thing. And it was the Alton Towers Monopoly video that he did. And I took one look at it. I was like, dude, there's a reason why he's up for best production. So happy for Sean. Like, his channel just exploded. It was so cool. And then we kind of just started doing the podcast with more people, and it was humbling that people wanted to get involved, and it was nice for everybody to embrace it as well. which was really cool because we didn't know people wanted to listen to four lads just talking about theme parks. And obviously in all this you can't forget James. Like James was a massive part of CoasterGen, always will be.
Yes.
So it's like he did all the images. Actually, it took a lot of the photography on the website. That's on the website, and then it was down to me to Lightroom it all due to bad weather conditions, especially at Fort Park. Wow.
Yeah, it's not the best place to take pictures, is it?
No, not when it's a gloomy day. Like it's difficult. It is difficult. But if you guys have got channels in the chat now and you want to share them around, just drop some links in the chat. I'll accept them, no problem. Just get it out there. And like we said, if you want to share it on our group as well on Facebook, feel free to do that.
Yeah. Oops, we've had another request. Thank you very much, everyone. Everyone that's joined us.
Mikhail's missed his bit.
Yes.
we already shouted you out, Mikhail, at the start.
We did, dude.
Our first official guest on the Keep You in the Loop CoasterGen show.
Some history for you right there, mate.
Yeah, right there. But we're going to have to do that again, though, because that video doesn't exist anymore, does it?
No, that was down to a slight technical error by myself, so I'm really sorry for that. But we need to redo it anyway.
We'll do it again because, like...
It needs to do it as a vodcast, doesn't it, rather than sort of... Yeah.
Anytime, man. Anytime. Just let us know. And
absolutely, man.
Absolutely. Yeah, no problem, man. Sorry, I missed it. No worries, man. We're just so basically, if anyone's just joining us now, we're not like we said, we're not just bigging ourselves up. We're just literally telling you guys what we went through this year and our highlights and everything. And I have to say, one of my highlights was over everything was getting to the Staines train station car park and meeting James after you just driven all the way down there, dude. Well done. Like, I said it on the vlog, and I still stand by it. That was such an achievement. Like,
I mean, for me to have actually done that myself, I'm still even shocked that I did do that to this day, because
it seems like so long ago.
It does. It feels like an age ago, doesn't it?
Yeah,
it really does. It's crazy. But for those of you that don't know, I'm sure a lot of you probably do, I suffer with really bad anxiety and travel anxiety and also depression as well. So for me to actually kind of break out of my comfort zone takes a hell of a lot to do. So for me to actually get in a car, my own car, and drive nearly 4 hours down to Staines car park and actually go to Fort Park for the first time, that was something I'd wanted to do for about 15 years. And I never, ever, until this year, had the confidence to do it. And if it wasn't for you, Luke, I would not have done it. So again, thank you so much for the support that you gave me, because, genuinely that changed everything getting that far. And it will be happening again next year. I can 100% guarantee it. So there we go.
It's just the way we did it was the right way of doing it. Was, we'll stop off. We actually didn't stop that much coming back. I was expecting to stop more coming back. We just bombed it back home.
I think we stopped about twice, didn't we, on the way back? But
but going, we stopped. I think it was like three times, something like that.
3 times, yeah, something like that.
Which is crazy to even think. Like when we were 3/4 of the way there, you were like, "Should we stop?" And you were like, "I was like, if you want," and then you were just like, "No, I'm just gonna keep going. I'm just gonna keep going." And I was like, "Really? Like you've changed?" Like,
I think I kind of sort of like relaxed into it a bit by that point. I felt more comfortable. So. And
then that idiot tried cutting you off at the roundabout.
Oh, what an absolute prat!
That was
stupid idiot. Literally, like started to go, and he just tried to like come straight into my lane. I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
I don't get why people drive like that. I really don't. It's crazy. But yeah, so then we had the Fort Park trip, which was epic, and we finally met James up at Staines, and it was like, yo, and then we went down a McDonald's run, didn't we, actually, before he turned up, and I got James his breakfast. That was pretty cool. Then we got to Thorpe, and then we got in, and I remember you like going in going, oh wow, I can see you swarm, like as we're driving in for the first time into the car park. It was so cool though to be part of that experience of yours, like the first time going to Thorpe.
And it was so weird, actually seeing those coasters in front of me as well.
It was weird. Like
for me,
like 6 years not being down there, 6 years and not being to Thorpe, and it was like even the size of like Saw was which took me back a bit. I was like, I forgot how tall that was. Like it's mad, isn't it? You take a break from places and things just seem so much better. But yeah, I'll never forget when you stood in the stealth for the first time as well. And I actually caught all these reactions that Joe had. I was just recording on my GoPro like all day. And I tried not to cut anything out. That's why it was 2 days. Like, it was a long vlog, but it was 2 days of just Joe's reactions just going, all right, that's my new number one. All right, that's my new number one.
And he's not kidding, because I did. That's exactly what happened.
It's good though, isn't it? Because there are new UK experiences for you that you've not done before.
Exactly.
But what stood out most to you when you first laid eyes on Thorpe?
I think, to be honest with you, probably stealth, realistically. The height of that thing is insane. And I mean, you're looking at it from a distance, but until you get underneath it and actually look at it from the bottom, you do not realise just how tall that thing is. But if we're kind of talking experience, I think for me, definitely the Swarm, because the Swarm, the theme of it and actually walking onto that island, and, you've effectively, you do feel like you're in a post-apocalyptic world, because you're in this little bubble, a themed bubble with a coaster that's above your head, and it feels the part. And I think for me, out of everything that I saw, apart from Saw, because I mean, that's a whole different reason altogether, the Swarm really stood out for me as probably the best sort of moment of kind of the whole trip. But in terms of sort of, rides I'd wanted to ride for a long time, for me, it was always going to be Saw the Ride, because I'm a huge movie fan, and obviously huge, massive, fan of the franchise as well. So to actually finally get on that ride after seeing, so many videos of other people riding it and vlogs of everybody doing it, and POVs and everything else, and then physically sitting in a seat, going on the ride, seeing that, that experience, again, that was kind of a brand new sort of like favorite moment for me as well. And there was so many great times during that trip, that I just, it's really hard to pick, to be honest with you. It genuinely is. So
even melting ice creams when we were in the queue line.
Like dripping all over his feet while we're trying to like sit there.
It was so hot. It was so hot. Like we I think we refilled our refreshing refills about 10 times.
Easily,
in the first
I'd say, yeah.
5 hours or something stupid.
Yeah.
It was crazy. But yeah, I remember when we first, because it was the first ride we went to, right? Saw was the first ride we did.
Started off with Saw, went on Colossus, and then we did. What did we do next? Was it Swarm we did next?
Swarm and then Flying Fish.
That was it. I mean, Flying Fish was a walk-on, so it would have been rude not to, wouldn't it? But
it would have,
So we did that, and then we did Nemesis, and then we finished the day in terms of major ride, obviously on Stealth and
Rumba, right?
And Rumba as well, kind of like cooled down and Rumba with that manky water. But I mean, it's a great ride. But I just remember, I think Stealth for me obviously was like the crowning jewel, because kind of getting on it, absolutely bricking it, right up to the point of being sat in my seat, like physically like holding on like that to the thing in front of me, just literally shaking like this. And it went, and we got to the brake run, and I was like, again, I want to go again. And after that, it was like, yeah, we need more rides on it. So I think that was probably a major highlight too.
Yeah, because the second day we jumped straight back on, right?
We did 2 rides back to back.
And that was if you guys haven't seen the vlog, we absolutely legged it to the Stealth queue line.
We did.
We got about, I don't know, 3/4 the way down, and then the announce over the tannoy, please do not enter the Stealth. Please do not enter the Stealth queue line. Stealth is currently not open. But there wasn't just us though. There was like another group in front of us as well.
Well, there was no staff member there, was there? So we just
it was just over the tannoy.
We just bombed it down.
And I'm running with the GoPro. We absolutely legged it from the beach all the way down. Oh man, that was such a fun trip. And,
so funny.
And then the unfortunate event of your sunglasses.
Yeah, our ROP sunglasses.
I've physically gods.
I've literally like left mark on Fort Park, and I don't even have to pay for a brick. So how good is that?
I don't like bringing it up, but it's just so funny.
Oh, it's so fun.
Just the way James described it.
Like just kind of hovers and they just go.
I don't know how they didn't clock on that you had your sunglasses on your
I mean, obviously the harness comes down, and they're looking right here, so they should have seen them because it was hanging there off my top. So you'd think they would have seen them, but they obviously completely oblivious to it, and we just off. And then they went that way, we went that way, and the rest is history.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But yeah, no, and then we had a great probably 4 or 5 hours on the park, and then we had to leave because obviously we have a long drive back up to the north.
Fortunately, yeah.
And that was pretty much the end of our trips, really, wasn't it? Like, did we do anything after that? I can't remember if we did or not.
Don't think we did, to be honest with you. I think that was the last one that we did, to be fair, unfortunately. I think it was just down to circumstance and a lot of other things.
Yeah, everything changed, didn't it? Like,
we didn't really sort of get a chance to do things the way that we kind of planned initially. Because we planned to do a lot more, haven't we? Throughout this year.
Loads. We planned to do so much. Like, at the start of the year, it was, all systems go. I remember talking to you in the hotel at Blackpool on the first night, like, this is going to be crazy. This is going to be crazy. And then, like, the first day, and it was looking like Chris did it the best. Like, on his video, it was like 2020 is a year for roller coasters and been parking.
Just don't.
And it was like, don't even talk to me. Like, it's so funny. Like, it's great. It is funny, but it's true. Like, we had so many plans, and again, this year we're like, okay, next year we're gonna have so many plans, and I just hope that we can do at least 70% of them. That'd be good. Like, if we could do 70% of them, that'd be really cool.
I mean, it'd be nice if we could actually get outside of the UK. Hopefully, if this whole situation that they're now saying is going to happen doesn't affect it as badly as it hopefully will. Because again, that's going to make things very difficult. But hopefully, fingers crossed, it doesn't happen as badly as they're making out. So time will tell at the end of the day, and we just kind of got to stay positive and keep going. So
yeah, definitely. And then, so because we didn't go on many trips together, the podcast was more of a regular thing then, and then it turned in. We had some issues with a podcast that had been running for 15 years that we didn't actually know about, called In the Loop. And after the first Chris podcast we did on Keep You in the Loop podcast, the guy reached out to me on Twitter and was like, oh no, I think he commented on Chris's video, on Chris's...
He called you out, basically.
Yeah, he said, that's very close to In the Loop. And I was like, I've never heard of it at all.
No.
But anyway, I just thought, you know what, let's change the name and let's just call it the CoasterGen Show. It's on the CoasterGen YouTube channel. Makes sense. And since then, like, we've had so many guests on.
We really have. Like, if anything, it got better after that point.
Yeah,
literally.
It did. It did. But the group, like we said earlier, the group started on the back of that, basically. But we thought we'll keep the group name because the group name makes sense, really. Because it is about keeping everybody in the know-how, with the news anyway, especially. Like,
exactly.
If you think our Facebook pages are quick on news, then it literally goes group page. So if you want news earlier, join the group. Seriously, it's just, we want to get to 1,000. We're 40 odd off. How many are we off now? Is there any more?
We're 40 off now. 40. Exactly 40 members. Yeah.
Cool. So we're 40 off now. So that'd be awesome. And then you launched your line of merch as well last year.
I did, yeah. So I thought cool. the thing was that kind of I'd actually got myself a few bits from Vistaprint and various other things with my logo on, and I've been using them for videos and things. And a lot of people like, that looks really cool. When can I get my own sort of thing?
Yeah.
And I thought, well, if people want merch, I'll give people the option of obviously having it there available. And I launched it. And touch wood, so far it's been really well received, and I'm really grateful to everybody that's actually bought some of it for themselves, because your support means the world. It genuinely does. But we've also recently launched a couple of sort of non-branded designs as well, something a little bit different, inspired by Fall Parks. If you haven't seen those already, those are on the website now. But yeah, touch wood, so far seems to have been really well received. So
it's crazy.
And you've also
go on.
I was going to say, you've also got your own range as well, haven't you?
Yeah, well, the thing is, like, I'm not bothered if I sell nothing. Like, I'm really not.
Likewise.
It's there if you want it. It's cheap. I make 1p on every t-shirt. So, like, if like the posters, I make about 3p on the poster. If you really want it, go and get it. Like, it'd be great if you got it, but it doesn't make any difference to me, really. It'd be surreal to see someone, let's say at Blackpool opening, they got a CoasterGen t-shirt on, I'd be like, whoa, hang on a minute, what's this about? Like, it would be amazing. Crazy. But it's just one of them, like, it's just part of the brand, isn't it? And that's the thing. Just give the people the option. It's there. Buy it if you want it. It's cool.
Exactly. Likewise.
And then you did So what was your trip after Fort? The next trip you did?
The next one I did would have been it was Oktoberfest, Alton Towers Oktoberfest.
Was it that long
It
between
was that long,
trips?
yeah. Unfortunately, we didn't get anything else in sort of prior to that. In fact, physically, yeah, that was the next trip we did, and that was in I think mid-September time.
Yeah,
The
Oktoberfest in
thing,
September always makes me laugh. That.
nah, I mean, the thing is, like with me, you've probably seen throughout the year, I plan a lot in advance, and as much as I try to make these things happen, my luck has a completely different agenda, and every other time it seems to just come along and just destroy whatever plans I've got. I don't do it deliberately, guys. I genuinely don't, because when these things happen, even you only have to look at last night. I should have been on the CoasterGen show, but again, family life had a completely different plan for me, and it annoys me to hell. But at the end of the day, I do physically what I can do. So, as much as I say I've got things planned, if things don't happen, rest assured they will happen. They just won't happen as planned. But you'll still get the content. You'll still get to see it. So, there we go.
It's one of them years, though, isn't it? Like, I think everybody watching this will understand that and respect.
Curse
that.
of 2020.
Yeah, it just is. Like, it's one of them things. Like, but as well, you've started doing lives more frequently. I mean, you was doing lives back in the day on your Facebook page, but you started to really up it. I think recently you really started to up it. I like the quiz idea as well. I've been saying to James for like months, like we need to do a quiz on the CoasterGen show, and he was like, maybe can't be bothered. I'm like, no, we need to do one, and then it was like it never happened. But it'd be cool if it did. But if you guys do enjoy theme park quizzes, like Joe hosts a pretty cool one on the Theme Park Insanity Facebook page. I was actually playing along, but I didn't keep score.
Oh, nice one.
There was some hard questions on the Alton Towers one.
The thing is, like, I want them to be challenging, so I really do research when I'm researching for these quizzes, and I try to drill more into kind of the history of the place that I'm doing the quiz about, because each and every quiz we do is themed around a different park or a different resort. So far we've had Blackpool Pleasure Beach, I think was the first one. We've had Alton Towers, which was our second one, which I really enjoyed doing. And actually, initially these things set out to be about an hour long. I think it was about 2 hours long was that one, which wasn't bad. So this coming Friday, we've got one about Flamingo Land, which again, I'll be hosting.
God, I've got no chance.
So we're hosting live at 8:00 on TPI from Friday. And we sort of started doing these as part of our brand new sort of weekly schedule, which is we do, originally it started out as 4, but with kind of a gap between obviously Sunday and kind of Monday, we weren't really getting much of a chance for any news to kind of drop. So we do them 3 times a week. Now we do it Monday, live at 10 a.m. Again, I'll be doing it tomorrow. We've got Sam, who's our other team member, live on Wednesday at 10 a.m. And then you've got myself on sort of Friday evening at 8 p.m. as well. And of course, the idea behind them is obviously giving you guys the chance to kind of come on, join us in the chat, ask any questions you've got. If you want to have a bit of a chit chat with us, they are very informal. They're not formal, but we also go through the most recent news, discuss thoughts on it, and just generally have a bit of a chill on camera as well, which is it's quite nice. And it's something I originally did start out doing, and not many people were kind of doing it before. But I always felt that, with obviously, you've got this page and you've got a name, but people want to know the person behind that. And not a lot of people kind of, not a lot of content creators kind of give people the chance to do that. So, I wanted to do that. I wanted to make sure that I was as readily available for people to be able to tell who CPI was.
Mine are very informal from Sam.
Very informal. Yeah, right, dude. But yeah, it's I really enjoy doing them, and to everybody that does join me as regularly as they do, it's amazing just to have a bit of a hangout with you guys as well, because that's what it's all about. So yeah, if you like lives, come check them out.
Yeah. So you went to Oktoberfest. I didn't. I was supposed to go and meet up with Parksville, Sean and Joe.
You were.
But unfortunately, commitments got in the way, and I couldn't do it due to work. But I missed out. Like, it looked like such a good event. Like,
I've been reliving that tonight.
Well, yeah, there you go. Yeah, cheers, by the way.
Cheers, man. Cheers.
And yeah, it looked like such a good event. If you guys went to Oktoberfest in the chat and in the comments, let us know what your favourite part of it was. Obviously, probably the beer would be number one there. And riding the coasters at night. I think maybe next year we should do the Fort Park one.
Yeah, I'd reckon so. Because I wanted to do that this year, but we just, it was just too fast to make happen.
If it's still happening. Like
two seconds, sorry.
Yeah. No,
just got the cat's whinging at me.
No worries, man. No worries. Yeah, so if Fort Park's doing the Oktoberfest next year, I'd like to get down there and do that. Maybe even one of the summer nights events where you get to ride the coasters late on, because
That'd be really cool.
it's pretty quiet. I've heard when them events are on.
Yeah,
you can just ride as many rides as you want, basically, which sounds really awesome. Like just to keep going on and off.
You might imagine like Circuit in Swarm and Circuit in Stealth and just doing that all night.
It'd be epic. Even
that'd be amazing.
Like I think Saw is pretty easy because you come off back in.
Yeah.
The Swarm you have to go all the way down to the end. Stealth's pretty easy to marathon. Inferno would be pretty easy to marathon as well. Definitely come down for more Fort. Queues die right down after like 7. Yeah, so there you go. So the queues die down after 7 on the.
So we'll try and get down and do that. Definitely.
Yeah, that sounds like an idea. So you did Oktoberfest, then you did Scarefest.
I did.
Which was actually, you was invited down for that?
I was, yeah. So I was actually invited down by the park themselves. Same as Oktoberfest, actually, as well. We were given you a chance to kind of come down, check it out, and obviously, you know, kind of cover it for our pages.
Which that itself is
phenomenal.
Like when it happened to us with our Scarefest event, me and Danielle went down, and that was
absolutely crazy.
So absolutely blessed by the opportunity for that. So thank you so much to Towers and
hugely. I mean, the PR team there are amazing. You know, they really do go above and beyond to make you feel included. And you know, as a creator, that means the world. It genuinely does.
This year, even on social media, like Merlin reaching out and saying, "Can we use your images?" I've seen it across Instagram, like all the way around Instagram. Can we use this image for our social media? And it just makes people's day. Like people are like, "Oh, Merlin's just asked me to use the image." Like, yeah, cool, that's great. Like, keep doing it. Don't stop. Just because of this thing that's going on, don't stop.
Absolutely. Yep.
Like,
keep going.
We'll always be here. Like that's the thing. There's always passionate people who give a damn that will always be here. You know. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's an honor to be able to do that. I hope. I'm so excited for Gangster Granny. Like.
It looks like a really cool ride, and apparently there's quite a few unique little elements in there that haven't been used in other dark rides. So I'll be interested to see what those are, to be honest with you.
Gangster Granny is one of them that it's another dark ride. Yes, they could have done more, or could they? Not really.
Hard to tell, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm excited to see it. Like if it's a flop, it's a flop. But if it's great, then cool. It's another addition to the park. You know, that everybody's going to enjoy. Family's going to enjoy. I just find it a bit strange that they've got CBeebies Land at the front of the park, and then you go all the way to like the dark forest. And next to the dark forest, you've got Gangster Granny, which is another family attraction.
World of David Walliams. So you go from like having all these dull sort of toned down, almost kind of khaki colours to having like full-on rainbow colours in like the space of like 2 seconds flat. Yeah. It's crazy. And you've got the Old Towers Dungeon right there. And then you've got the
I know.
Right there. It's like...
Bam. I just hope it all works. Like I really do. For Tower's sake, like I hope it works. Like it seems like it's going to be pretty cool. Yeah, it'd be interesting. It'd be interesting to see. Well, then you went to Scarefest. So what was your highlights from Scarefest?
I think for me, my highlights from Scarefest definitely have to be the Attic and also Altonville Mine Towers, believe it or not, because that maze, when you kind of take into account what we've actually had to face in terms of restrictions this year, and the sort of kind of changes they obviously, you know, they had to make within those attractions, the fact they can still make them work like they did last year was, you know, a feat in itself. But when you actually went into them and actually experienced them like you did, you know, the Attic had a very creepy sort of sinister feel to it. And despite all the social distancing and mask and blah-de-blah and everything else, which I'm not going to go into, you know, they made it work and they brought an experience. Now, Altonville Mine Towers is supposed to obviously be set in a mine. Make no mistake, it feels like you're in a mine when you're in that place. And it's very tight, sort of compact, very, very, you know, sort of claustrophobic. And again, you know, they still kept that experience regardless of what was going on. So, you know, in itself, Towers deserve the praise for that. But the overall atmosphere as well of the event and the night rides and the theming and the street performance, everything that was there within that event was absolutely fantastic. And Towers really had gone 110% and above to bring an experience to the resort. And they managed it in the middle of a pandemic. Let's just take that into account for just 2 seconds. They managed what they managed in the middle of a pandemic, in the middle of social distancing, face masks, 2 meters apart, everything else. They pulled it off. And, you know, that was my highlight of the year by far.
Scarefest.
Yeah, I'd say so. Definitely. That and obviously Fob as well. Those were the two big things this year.
Toxic Junkyard was a great addition. I'll be honest, still having nightmares from the half-naked dude sneaking up on me in the autumn.
Yeah, that was
from Robert. Hi, Robert. Thanks a lot for the tweet as well that you sent out earlier. Thank you. It means a lot. Thank you so much. But yeah, no. Unfortunately, I know I am wearing a Scarefest hoodie. I was unable to do any of the Scare attractions this year at Alton Towers, which I am a bit disappointed on. But at the same time, I still went to Scarefest, and for me, I've never been like. It's gonna sound mad to some people, but Scare attractions have never grabbed my attention at all. Like, it's just one of them things. Like, I'm such a coaster nerd that I would just rather go and marathon Nemesis when there's no queue because everyone's in the attic or something. Like, I'd rather just ride the coasters at night but that's, to me, that says there's a problem. Like, I should be able to do that anyway throughout the year, and then when it comes to spooky season, be able to go into all the scare mazes and stuff. But I definitely need to get into it. I think like I need a good season at it. Like, I really do. Like, I think I've done scare mazes. Don't get me wrong, I've done them all in the past, but they just never really grabbed my attention. Like, which to you must hurt because you're a massive horror fan. And you love scare attractions. You love all the little attractions as well, like the one in Whitby. Is it the vampire thing in Whitby?
Dracula Experience, yeah, absolutely fantastic little place.
It's really like there's loads of cool little things. I think I definitely next year need to make a point of like just going. Maybe even just stay at Alton Towers Hotel and just smash out a weekend there, doing all the scare attractions multiple times. Really get into it.
We'll definitely make that happen next season for sure. And, we should be at a point, hopefully, by that time next year where we can do that. So, fingers crossed.
Yeah. So I just had to make the most of that vlog with what I could, really, with the Scarefest, and then it was back to the podcast because of 2.0.
Indeed, yeah. Which didn't really feel like a lockdown anyway, in all honesty. But
no, didn't really.
Yeah.
The only difference was that I wasn't at work. That was literally the only thing. It was. So yeah, that's basically. You guys are up to date with everything that happened, really. Like, we just wanted to just do this little one-on-one conversation with everybody in the chat, and just to let you guys know, like, it's been an incredibly strange year. I think that's the best way to say it.
Surreal. I think it's probably the best.
Best of the best, and it's been the worst of the worst. Like, it's such a strange year. Like, just hang in there, guys. It's not long now.
No.
What is it like? It's what is it?
When there's 13,
12 no, there's more than 12 days. There's like 15 days or something for Fort Park to build an RMC yet. So,
if only.
Could still happen. You never know.
But like, just like 15 minutes, just like springs up out of nowhere. Like, ta-da! There it is.
Yeah, someone on Twitter put a time lapse of Zadra being built.
I just shoot something.
Like, this is what's going to happen on the 31st of December or the 30th of December. I can't remember which one it was. But yeah, literally just the time lapse of an RMC just popping up.
Goodbye, Loggers Leap. Hello, Loggers Leap RMC instead. Yeah.
Yeah. So that being said, then that's 2020. What are you? If you your plans for next year? What are Theme Park Insanity's plans for next year?
So next year
we'll be doing stuff without us, and we'll be doing stuff without you. But we'll be doing joint occasions and joint trips and everything.
Well, there'll still be a lot of joint work and a lot of joint content, which obviously, is always going to be our aim here because of the fact that we have, such a great friendship. But in terms of sort of plans so far, we're going to be at Blackpool Pleasure Beach opening weekend. We're going to be there all weekend. Yeah. I am staying overnight. I do have a room secured at the Travelodge with Aaron, which he's just recently sorted me out. So I'm really pleased for that. Thank you, Aaron.
Is that the Travelodge next to the Pleasure Beach?
It is, yeah. So hopefully, we can pass up quite close by. I'll have a bit of a chat with you afterwards. But basically, we're going to be there. We're going to be doing that all weekend. And then we're going to be at Alton Towers opening weekend. Is it 21st? I think something 20th. Like that. 20th, is it? So we're going to be there. And again, I'm going to be staying at Alton Towers Hotel for the first time, which I've wanted to do for years. So I'm very excited.
Stayed at the hotel?
Never ever stayed on site.
Oh man, the buffet.
I know.
The buffet breakfast is worth it alone. Seriously,
I'm so looking forward to it. I really am.
The first time me and Danielle stayed there, the breakfast was it was so good. It was massive. Like I might be remembering it different now. It was quite a while ago, but it was really good. They had everything. Oh man, like just don't go on Hex after your breakfast. That's what I'm saying. Like,
all that spitting up everywhere.
Go for a little bit of a walk to Forbidden Valley first, you know.
And to be fair, you probably have to do that from the hotel anyway, won't you, to get to the actual part? But
that's true.
Yeah. So we're going to be doing that, and then
don't take the monorail. Walk.
No. Oh well, I always walk anyway. In fact, even when the monorail was running, I always walked to the park anyway because I just like to get the exercise in all fairness.
Yeah, you know what? I don't usually mind everyone's saying it's so good. I don't mind the walk actually.
I really enjoy it as well. To be honest,
I kind of feel a bit more hyped when I walk.
Yeah.
Like when I'm meeting people at the entrance, I'm walking down. It feels cool.
And I think you build up that anticipation as well, don't you? Because you're kind of walking past all the attractions as you're going up, thinking, "Gonna ride that, can't wait to get back on that." And you sort of, as you go up the path.
As a kid, the monorail used to really excite me. Like when I was younger, and you get to towers and you go over air and past Nemesis, and then past Jewel, and then up by the mine train, and then all the way down, and obviously the Flume. But where Wicker Man is now, I don't think there's anything quite like a start of a day at a theme park like the monorail trip.
Going through the middle of it.
Yeah.
All the way up to the entrance.
But it's like you go through the middle of it, but then you go so far away from it as well.
And it's like you're like miles over to one side.
Yeah.
And we're hopefully aiming to be at Fort Park opening weekend, which I've not booked anything for yet. If we do that, it is going to be a family trip, is that one. So there's literally going to be me, my wife and son. The other reason being that my wife is desperate to go down and check the place out for herself. And obviously my little boy wants to get on Flying Fish because he's seen that a lot of times on YouTube. So he's dying to get on that. Are you not
going to go Chessington if you go down there? I would heavily advise going Chessington with Theo.
I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? I do want to kind of go to Chessington as well. This is why I'm saying nothing's concrete with that, because I'm still weighing up options there. Chessington would probably be more family friendly, I would say, and probably more suitable. So plans probably will change for that. But yeah, it's that's kind of where we are at the moment. We haven't made any more concrete plans because of everything that's kind of happening at the moment.
It's hard to make any plans. Kind of looking at all the openings and just can I get there? Can I get there? Can I get there? I know that Mikhail wants to get down to Paulton's Park at some point.
Yeah, and that's another one that I want to get to as well. Paulton's Park for Tornado Springs, hopefully. So we'll try and do that one together if we can do. Maybe all three of us kind of go down together.
Did you see Marcus from Flowrider's photography, the images of inside the station?
I did, yeah. It looks absolutely insane, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So well themed and so heavily immersive.
It looks like straight out of a Europe park.
It does.
Straight out of an Efteling or something like that. It looks so good. I can't believe it. I'm really excited I'm not really excited for the coaster. The coaster is just a family max spinner. I'm more excited to see the progression in the park.
I think it's just more the experience, isn't it? And kind of being immersed into that.
Yeah, definitely.
Rather than the rides themselves.
And the flat ride as well. Forgive me, I can't remember what it's called now.
Cyclinator, that looks insane.
I always forget what it's called. I can't think of these names on the spot. I swear I didn't. But yeah, no, that looks really cool. So Paulton's definitely on the list.
Chessington, 100%.
Chessington.
Legoland, I want to do. So we'll try.
Flamingo Land, man, the new coaster.
Yeah, we need to do that, of course. No opening date on that as of yet, though. But
no news at all out of Flamingo.
Nothing at all. Not a single thing. Nothing.
Not even from Raymond or anyone at Flamingo Land Crazy.
And nobody even knows. Nobody even seems to know. Even the staff themselves don't seem to know kind of what's going on with it. All we know is obviously it is opening next year at some point. We believe, I think April, May time. That's a rumoured date, but there's no official confirmation on theme, name, opening date, anything. So a little bit disappointed with the park for that one, in all honesty. I would have expected more from them.
They've been very hush, haven't they?
Very, very hush, yeah.
They've been hush about everything else as well. I've not even lead up to opening after the first lockdown. They were very quiet.
Yeah. They've kind of sort of, been a bit more open about the Christmas plans and everything and stuff going on there, because they do actually have, a festive offering on up there. I can't go check it out because stupidly I'm in tier 3 and then about 30 miles up the road they're in tier 2. Explain to me how that one works. Well, exactly. Yeah. I mean, I quite happily say it's for work, but I'm not one of these people. I'm in tier 3. I'm going to stay in tier 3. I'm not even getting started on that one. Seriously,
What an idiot!
Yeah,
What an absolute idiot!
Completely.
But yeah, it's like Samuel Worthington's just put in the chat, third park where that coaster doesn't open. What do you think?
I really hope not. I'd say that it's got too far sort of down installation for it to not open at this point.
They've done the pull through, right?
They've done the pull through. The electrics are installed. The track's installed. The station's pretty much got... Well, in fact, the station has had more work on it since lockdown. That's the only thing I do know. But I would say that, in all honesty, that ride is going to open. They're very determined. And if it doesn't, I'll be very shocked, to put it that way.
Yeah, and they need it. Like, they need another edition there. Like,
they do.
They got rid of too many classic rides in the past. I mean, this one that's opening up at Indiana Beach, the Swatchkoff, like...
I was going to say they've had like some Magnum Force, which is basically Chimera. It's the same ride, that going there. They've had the Bullet, I think it was called, which was a Schwarzkopf shuttle loop coaster. They've had the Corkscrew, of course. They've had Thunder Mountain, which was an indoor. They've had some big, iconic rides at that park over the years. And the last input, obviously, was Hero, which I think was 2015. So again, I mean, that speaks volumes in itself. But they've had 5 years, so really they need this ride and they need it to open. And I believe they can do it. Yeah. I still do. I remain positive. So,
yeah. What do you think of? Because they didn't open the Ultimate this year, did they? Like what?
No, they didn't. They kept it closed.
Or is it going to reopen? Is there anything from that? I'm only asking you because you're like, know everything that's going on in Yorkshire, basically. Like,
pretty much, to be fair, yeah. In terms of openings of major coasters at the moment, there's no confirmation on anything for 2021. Of course, they've just been hit with that £350,000 fine for what happened, which is extremely sad. But at the end of the day, it's happened. Bad. So, that's going to have a heavy financial impact on them. So with new buyers coming on board for that park, it will be interesting to see what happens with it. But if they want to pull the people in, they're going to have to reopen those rides and they're going to have to do it next year, because if they don't, there's not really going to be a good turnout for them. That's all I can say.
It's been proven in the past by parks who don't invest in rides and attractions that that's it.
Yeah, they die, basically. They'll go. That'll be it. They'll finish. So,
yeah, I mean,
fingers crossed.
Even lights of a company like Camelot couldn't even keep it going with that, the way of doing things. It's insane. But anyway, we've been talking for an hour, believe it or not.
Has it really been that long?
Yeah.
God, it hasn't all, hasn't it? That's crazy.
That's crazy. We just wanted to do this little live, guys, just for you, just so you can get a little bit of an insight into what goes on behind the scenes with me, Packing Sanity, and CoasterGen. We're always working together. We're always working to try and do the next thing that we want to do. We've got some fantastic guests lined up for December and the new year.
Not even I know who those guests are. I don't think so. I'm interested to find out who they are.
There's a couple you know about. There's a couple I don't think you do yet. But like seriously, if you got anyone who's watching this, if you feel like you can contribute to the CoasterGen show and you want to come on, just shoot us a message on Twitter. Shoot us a message or email us. The email is on my Twitter account. So, and links in the video description below as well. So yeah, just shoot us an email if you want to come on and chat. Yeah, it'd be really cool.
Absolutely.
It would be really cool just to hear from people. What's the nice little discovery for a Sunday evening? Yeah.
You're right, Subby. How you doing, dude? You good?
Yeah, hope you're well. Hope everybody's well in the chat as well. Like, seriously, not many questions tonight, but just a lot of talking between you guys, which is always cool to see as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I just hope we can get out to more trips next year. Like, seriously, like Pleasure Beach, number 1. As soon as we finish with this, I'm going to check out how much Travelodge is at Blackpool and just
please do.
Probably just book it, because
that's a mistake on my part. I've genuinely, I've meant to tell you, and I've just completely.
Don't worry about it.
It's only just happened recently, though.
Don't worry about it, man. Like we've all got a lot going on. So,
but we are still going over together. Make no mistake, and that will still happen. So
definitely, if we're allowed to go, we're going. Like,
Towers,
100%. We're allowed to go, we're going. Like, if we're going to leave the country, we're going. Like, it's happening.
The only other place I really do want to get to next year, if I physically can do, of course, is Portaventura, because I want to get on Shambhala. I really do.
That has to happen. I have to get your reaction on that as well, because I've been in Shambhala so many times.
I think that and Red Force are the two I'm dying to get on. So
Red Force, that'll be second Intamin launch coaster. Obviously, it's not hydraulic, but it's still a big boy.
It looks crazy.
It's massive. Seriously.
I'm going to be stood there like this,
If you think Stealth's big, it's almost doubles. It's close to double Stealth in size. Wow. But because the track's that big, it doesn't really look it until you get on it. But when you get on it, oh my god, yeah!
And it's got lap bars as well.
One of the highlights I need to talk about is I just quickly forgot is when I walked the big one.
Of course, yeah. Unfortunately, I didn't get to join you for that one, did I?
No, I did. It
still looked incredible.
And if you guys are thinking about doing it, I would do it. What's crazy is we didn't know the guy who took us up, Andy, was actually the head of operations.
Oh, really? Oh,
and
wow.
I said to him, can you tell me anything about Valhalla? And he went, oh, I can't tell you anything. It's on the vlog. And he went, I cut it out. I cut a little bit out of it. I left a bit out. And he was like, but you're going to love it. So I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool. I hope it does. And I also asked him if they were going to retrack the big one some more. And Scott from Pleasure Beach Experience uploaded a video yesterday.
It is.
Of them retracking bits of the big one. So that's cool. That's exciting. That's going to be cool to experience.
That's the first ride we're hitting, by the way.
I was just going to say the first ride, because we're not getting smited by Dennis 2.0.
No, we're definitely not. I don't care what happens that weekend. I'm getting on that ride. Come hell or high water, I'm getting my big one ride. So there we go.
Question is Icon worth it? Will be my first time going on it next season. Yes, 100%. Yep. Icon's phenomenal. It's a really good ride. We
did it 5 times on opening day, didn't we?
Yeah, we did.
Just proper hammered it,
We did. I did it 4 times before Sean and Joe turned up on that trip when I walked up the big one. Before they even got on the park, I did it 4 times. It's
definitely worth it though.
It's such a good ride. It looks slow. It looks meandery, but so does the Wicker Man off ride.
That's the deceptive thing about it.
When you get on it, it's rapid. It's really good. The airtime as well that offers after the first launch is brilliant.
Oh, it's insane.
The hang time on the barrel roll as well is phenomenal. The Junior Immelman G-force you get on that, being pulled up into that, is awesome. It's a great ride. If you've never ridden it, it will shock you, but it's so comfy. It's literally being in an armchair. You need to do it, seriously. It's definitely worth it, 100%. And the big one's worth it as well for the experience and the view alone. What got me when I walked the big one was when we got to 150 foot. Now, I build a lot of coasters around 150, 190, 210 feet on No Limits, and I think, it's not that bad. And they go about 60 mile an hour, 70 mile an hour. But when you stood at 150 feet on a little a little catwalk with you strapped in, but you stood there, you're thinking, this is actually pretty high. I was starting to imagine what my coasters were like in real life, how high it was. We did a giga. Me and Wolf did a giga coaster called Magnum, which was a giga inverted B&M. 375 feet, I think it was, something ridiculous. Oh, wow. And I was thinking, what would that look like
in real life? Actually riding that.
Yeah, that would just be balmy. But I've got, just in case there are some No Limits fans of the channel in the chat now, I do have 4 projects on the go for No Limits. It's difficult to just get them out and get them done. It takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. It's what I tend to do now is I tend to go live, because it just gets more traction on the channel. Because we've been streaming so much, instead of being able to get out there and do trips and stuff, the live videos do so much better. This is already at 104 playbacks, which is more than what my Octonauts recreation got in the first 20 hours, which is insane. So
that's incredible.
Yeah, No Limits videos, they still exist. They're still going to happen. I've got a massive project that I'm working on as well, which is I'm gonna tell you guys a little bit about it. It's my biggest project. It's collaborating with a lot of YouTubers and a lot of content creators as well, and people who I consider really good friends as well. And we are putting together this piece of I don't want to give it away what it's about. It's just an amazing piece. Be excited for it. It's going to drop between January and February, probably just before opening or just after next year. So look forward to that. It's going to be amazing. I've put so many hours into it and so much research and resources and getting people involved. It's going to be so cool. But yeah, it's going to be one of them. So I hope you're excited for it. It is a video piece. It is a documentary piece, and it's probably going to be about 45 minutes long as well. So it's proper stuff. Like
almost feature length.
I'm pushing the boat out. Let's put it that way. And if that's the only good thing I managed to get out next year, that's the only good thing I managed to get out.
It won't
the rest of the Planet Coaster.
Oh, can you imagine?
No, it's not happening again. No.
No.
Vlogs from everywhere. That's what's going to happen. But yeah, another highlight as well. Was the moment I reached out to Pete at Virtual Towers Online, and I said, "Look, is there anything I can do to help?" And now I'm part of the Virtual Towers Online team, which is just incredible. Like, it's such an honor to be part of that. And
yeah, huge congratulations on that, mate.
Thank you.
Absolutely amazing, really is.
All that rock placing live on YouTube, it's come in handy. Alton Towers has a lot of rocks. Like,
lots of rocks and lots of trees.
Yes, lots of custom trees as well. Like, it's that's been crazy. Like, and then obviously I was furloughed because of lockdown too. So every day for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, like, me and Pete were hammering away at the project. So be ready, guys. That's all I'm gonna say. Be ready. We don't have any concrete date for an update. We don't have any time frame at all, but stuff is being done. If you want to see the progress that is being done, join the Immortal Media Studios Discord. I'll put the link in the video description, and also follow Virtual Towers Online on Facebook and Twitter, because that's where a lot of the update posts have gone, such as the updates that we've put out, picture wise, which is really cool. And we did a little thing for Christmas, which was fun.
Yep.
It was fun doing that. But yeah, there's a lot going on with that project. Like, don't worry, it'll when we drop an update, it will be epic. Trust me.
Huge.
Epic. Yeah, it'll be nice. It'll be good. Should be nice breaking the next update. When I saw that,
yeah.
So for those of you that don't know, there is a Rita Appreciation Society on Facebook.
I'm an admin.
You're an admin?
I'm an admin.
What? But Aaron in the chat now, he started it, right?
He did, yeah.
Yeah. And he said so you can mark your claim on the entranceway at Alton Towers and Virtual Towers Online. And he sent in a brick. It said Rita Appreciation Society. I think that's what it was, or something like that. I can't remember what it said exactly, but yeah, he's gonna have a Rita staying at the park, basically. There's going to leave.
There's going to be a rather large brick on the plaza.
It's now part of the foundation.
Love it.
But we'll have to see. And Luke's a member. Yeah, I am Luke. A member. I actually quite like Rita. I think it's a pretty cool little launch coaster. Like, it doesn't do much, but the launch is pretty sweet. It's good.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. There really isn't. It's a good run. You know, good ride.
It's in the wrong place, but it's a decent ride. So is there anything else you want to add, and then we'll get on with it?
I think, to be honest, I think we kind of covered everything now, haven't we? The only other thing I would say is that if you're looking for ideas for Christmas and Christmas gifts, then be sure to tune into our website tomorrow, because there is something very special dropping, where obviously, you know, if you got coaster enthusiasts in the sort of family or friends or whoever they can't always be the best people or the easiest people rather to buy for. So what I've been kind of working on is a little sort of post that kind of gives you guys a few ideas as to what you can sort of buy for them. But not only that, it's ideas where the products themselves are actually created and manufactured by enthusiasts within our community as well. Because what I want to do is I obviously want to kind of push forward, individual creators and obviously, sort of get them out there in terms of what they do and really showcasing that. So in terms of people we have on board, of course, we've got yourself, Luke. We've also got Chris from Screw Loops. We've got Jordan from Cupcakes and Coasters and a few other ones as well. So I'll be showing that hopefully later tomorrow. And it will be on the website as part of the blog, but I will be dropping a link on TPI on the page as soon as that's published as well. So make sure you tune in for that one.
Awesome. Right. Well, I think we're going to head off, guys, but thank you so much for tuning in. We will upload this to Spotify. I think it's been a nice little chat, so we'll throw that on Spotify.
It has.
Big one, lift or climb for me, hopefully. Yeah, definitely do it. Honestly, guys, if you're thinking of doing it, just do it.
I'll be doing it next year.
And I hope the weather, if you're doing it, I'll do it again. If you're doing it, I'll definitely do it
awesome.
again.
Yeah,
we'll set that up. So that's another trip. There we go. Another video. Right. So
another vlog.
Yeah. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching tonight. And if you have enjoyed this video, do consider subscribing. Smash that like button as well. Make sure you follow us on our social media. But for now, I've been Luke, and he's been Joe from Theme Park Insanity, and that was our Sunday night special year 2020 recap.